Hello again, everybody. It's still Sunday for me, but it is Tuesday for you. And if you remember from our Diwali assembly yesterday, I promised you that I would read you one of my favourite stories, actually. Such a great story. It's got some great heroes and villains in it. It's a story that children who are celebrating Diwali will have read to them every year, about this time of year every year. To go with their diva lamps and to help them to understand why light is so important. So this is the story of Rama and Sita. The story of Diwali. It's got some brilliant pictures in it. Here we go. Prince Rama was a great warrior and he had a beautiful wife named Sita. So there's Prince Rama and Princess Sita. Looks like they're in India. Look at that beautiful blue sky. With doves and some temples in the background. Let's see what happens. Rama's stepmother did not want him to become king, for she hoped her own son would be the king instead. To get rid of Rama, she tricked the young prince's father into sending him away to the forest. So there we go, Rama's been sent to the forest. So Rama and Sita went to live there in a tiny cottage. It looks rather beautiful, actually. So although he wasn't king, Rama and Sita were really happy until something happened. Life was peaceful until the day that Sita was spotted by the demon king, Ravana. Now, are you ready for Ravana? I need to tell you that Ravana has got 20 arms and 10 heads, and he had eyes as red as the brightest fire and teeth as sharp as daggers. Oh, what a beautiful princess, he hissed. I shall make her my wife. Now, are you ready? I'm not sure you are ready. Here we have Ravana, the demon king. Can you see? Can you count all those arms and heads? Goodness me, he's a scary one, isn't he? The next day, as Rama and Sita were out fetching water, they saw a beautiful deer. Oh, could you catch it for me? Sita asked her husband. I would like very much to keep it as a pet. Oh, dear Rama and Sita, I think this might be a trick. Let's see. But the deer was a trick, sent by the wicked demon Ravana. For as soon as Rama had gone deeper into the forest chasing it, Ravana swooped down on Sita. He swept her up and away over the treetops. Oh dear, there he is again with his many arms, many heads. Poor Sita. What's Rama going to do? Sita was terrified, but she knew she must leave a trail for her husband to follow. So she pulled off her golden anklet and threw it onto the ground below her. Can you see? There's her golden piece of jewellery that she was wearing around her ankle. And she's dropped it into the land beneath to show Rama where she's gone. And then she tossed down her earrings, one after the other, and last she removed her shiny scarf. So she's leaving a trail for Rama and hoping very, very much that he'll come and save her. Below her in a tree, a little white monkey looked up and saw the jewels falling. Oh, the stars are falling from the sky, he thought. There's the white monkey. Looks like he's found her golden anklet there. At last, Rama caught up with the magical deer, but as soon as he touched it, the animal changed into a demon and took off into the air. Oh, it was all a trick, said the prince. He rushed back to the cottage, but his beautiful wife was nowhere to be seen. Oh, the demons have taken Sita, he moaned. If it's the last thing I do in this life, I shall find her. He sounds like a very determined young prince, determined to find the love of his life, Sita. I wonder if he can. He started to look for her. Deeper and deeper he went, into the very heart of the forest, until at last he saw something sparkle in the leaves. Can you guess what it was? Sita's golden anklet, he cried. Clever Sita, it's working. He's managing to find out where she is. An earring, he gasped a moment later, and another. A little further on, he caught sight of something bright fluttering in the trees. It's Sita's scarf, he exclaimed, the one I gave her on the day we were married. And there is where Sita's scarf landed. It's like it's hooked onto one of the beautiful trees. Suddenly, there before him was a white monkey. He was Hanuman, the Monkey King. He led Rama to a great cave under a hill. Hanuman had sent word to all the monkeys in the world that they must gather there. So there he is. There's King of the Monkeys, Hanuman. And here he summons all of the world's monkeys together to meet at the cave. I can see lots and lots of different monkeys there, including some orangutans, I think. That must have been a sight to see, all of those different monkeys. The demon Ravana has stolen Sita, cried Hanuman. Rama and his wife are friends to the animals. We must find her. So the monkeys went off in every direction. They searched the forest, the mountain and the plain. Look at these lovely monkeys who are going to help Rama and Sita, because Rama and Sita were friends and kind to all the animals. So the animals have decided to help them. At last, Hanuman's group came to the edge of the land. There, far out to sea, stood an island, and as soon as the Monkey King saw it, he knew that Sita was there. There's the island, far out in the ocean. The island was surrounded by massive rocks and stormy seas, and the other monkeys could see no way to get ashore. But Hanuman was the son of the wind god. He climbed to the top of a hill, sucked in all the wind around him, and then leapt over the crashing waves. The Monkey King landed on the island and soon found Sita near the palace of the evil demon. No, he heard her cry, I will not marry you, Ravana. It is Rama alone that I love. So there she is, poor Sita, with the Demon King. But have a look in the corner, because here's Hanuman. Perhaps he's going to help. When Sita saw Hanuman, she knew straight away why he had come. Catch, she cried, and tossed a pearl from her hair. Take this to my husband to show him that I am still alive. So she's throwing Hanuman a pearl from her hair. Rama was overjoyed at the news. Hanuman called all the monkeys together to gather at the shore, but the waves were getting even bigger and they could see no way to get across. Build a bridge, ordered the Monkey King. So they gathered rocks and grass and sand and soil. They mixed them all together and built a giant bridge all the way from the shore to the island. Then they marched across and the terrible battle with the demons began. Clever monkeys, look. They made a bridge all the way from the shore, all the way over to the Demon King's island. Goodness me, what's going to happen next? I have come to rescue my wife, shouted Rama, when at last he made it through to the palace. Well, you'll have to kill me first, cried the Demon King. Now there's Rama, and there's the Demon King, and there's Hanuman the Monkey King. With a mighty swing of his sword, Rama sliced off one of his heads, but to his horror, another one grew in its place. Again and again Rama chopped, and again Ravana's heads reappeared. Oh dear, dear me. How is he going to win in this battle? Perhaps Hanuman the Monkey King will have an idea. His sword could do nothing, so Rama raised his bow. The gods of fire and wind guided the arrow, and in a burst of flame it pierced Ravana's chest, killing him stone dead. There he is. Looks like Hanuman really helped there to summon the gods of the winds to make sure that the arrow ran true. Rama went to find Sita, locked away in the depths of the palace. They hugged each other warmly, then came out and called a halt to the battle. Reunited at last, Rama and Sita. But where do the lights come in? Let's see. After thanking Hanuman and the monkeys, Rama and Sita returned to their own country to rule as king and queen. The gods threw flowers from the sky, the people lined the streets with flags, and in every house an oil lamp was put in the window to welcome them home. They ruled happily and well for many years until it was time for them to leave this life on earth and return to heaven. So here we are. That's where the Diva lamps come in to welcome Rama and Sita home. Can you spot them in every house? Got all those windows, and on this page too, you can see those diva lamps, just like the ones that we've got all the way from India, that were lit to welcome and light the way, light the path for Rama and Sita to come home. And this is the story of Rama and Sita. It shows how goodness and truth can win over evil, as one little oil lamp can brighten the darkest nights. And every year, at the festival of Diwali, Hindu people light small oil lamps or divas inside their homes to remember the story of Rama and Sita and how goodness and truth can win over evil. So it's a very old and ancient story, but it's one that still gets told every year at this time of year. And that's why we have divas, if you celebrate Diwali, in windows. So I really enjoyed that story. It's just such a great story, isn't it? And I hope you did too. And I hope that's helped you to understand why we see lights in windows and fireworks and all of those kinds of things that bring light into the darkness at this time of year, as our Hindu and Sikh friends celebrate Diwali, the festival of light. Have a lovely day. Have a lovely Tuesday, everybody. And I'll see you soon. Bye for now.